નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી.
Standard 9th, Subject Science, Chapter 10, Gravitation. So dear students, in the last video you have learned thrust and pressure. But now in this video we will learn that what do you mean by buoyancy, and as well as Archimedes principle, and as well as relative density. First of all, you will see what do you mean by buoyancy means what. See, some of the day-to-day experiences. Have you ever had a swimming in the pool and felt lighter when you are swimming, or body feels lighter? This is one question. Have you ever drawn water from the well? See, when you are going for drawing the water from the well with the thread, felt that the bucket of water is heavier when it is out of the water. If it is in that water, then you feel easier and very lighter. But when it is come out of the water, then you will feel heavier. Have you ever wondered why a ship, SHIP, made of iron and steel does not sink in the sea water? But while the same amount of iron and steel in the form of a sheet would sink. See, these are the questions. So these questions in the form of can be answered by taking the buoyancy. So what do you mean by buoyancy? So let us understand by the meaning this. Okay, some experiences you will see that. For example, take a empty plastic bottle. So what you have to do? Take a empty plastic bottle. Close the mouth of the bottle. So you have to close the mouth with an airtight stopper. Put in a bucket filled with water. You will see that the bottle floats. So bottle is floating. Okay, now this is okay. You got the idea now. Now the next one. Push the bottle into the water. Slowly you have to push it into the water. You will feel that somewhat force upward pushing. See, some force is pushing upward. Then try to push it further down. You will find it difficult. So you are difficult to push deeper and deeper. So this indicates that water exerts a force on the bottle in the upward direction. So what you are feeling, what you are observing, you will observe that some upward force on the bottle. Okay, like this water will be there. Okay, now some upward force acting on this. Okay, the upward force exerted by the water goes on increasing as the bottle is pushed deeper till it is completely immersed. Okay, now release the bottle, it bounces back to the surface. Bounces means immediately come to the surface. So now the question is asked, dear students, here. Does the forces due to the gravitational attraction of the earth act on this bottle? If so, why doesn't the bottle stay immersed in the water after it is released? Okay, this is the questions for understanding. The force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth acts on the bottle in the downward direction. See, the force is due to the gravitational attraction of the earth acts the bottle in the downward direction. So the bottle is going downwards. But the water exerts an upward force on the bottle. Thus the bottle is pushes upwards. At the same time, from the water also exerts the pressure, that is comes up. So you have learned that weight of an object is the force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth. When the bottle is immersed, the upward force exerted by the water on the bottle is greater than its weight. So that is why it pushes upward. To keep the bottle completely immersed, the upward force on the bottle due to water must be balanced. So this can be achieved by externally applied force acting downwards This force must at least equal to the difference between the upward force and the weight of the bottle. Okay, now the upward force exerted by the water on the bottle is known as upthrust or buoyant force. So now you see the definition. The upward force acting on a body immersed in the fluid is known as buoyancy, or also you are calling upthrust. This buoyant force on an object immersed in a liquid acts in the upward direction. What will be? It will be towards the upward direction. Okay. Now, the magnitude of this buoyant force depends upon the density of the fluid. So, this upward force depends upon the density of the fluid. Now, the next question is, why objects floats or sink when it is placed on the water? So, let us do the activity there. Take a beaker filled with water. So, what you have to do? Take a beaker. So, take beaker filled with water. So, take beaker filled with water. Okay, done? So, now you have to take an iron nail and put it in an iron nail. You have to place it. Iron nail. Then what do you observe? So, the iron nail is sinking. The iron nail sinks or goes down. Okay. There is because there is an upthrust of water on the nail which pushes it upwards, but the downward force acting on the nail is greater than the upthrust of the water on the nail. So that is why it is sinking. Okay. Now, so that why? Because there is an upthrust water on the nail. Upthrust pressure will be there on the nail, but it pushes upwards. But the downward force acting on the nail is greater than the upthrust. So that is why it sinks. Now another one you say, take a beaker filled with water. So let sink one more activity here. Take water, then cork you have to place it. So the cork floats while the nail sinks. Nail is sinking, but the cork floats. This happens because of the difference in their densities. So, the density of the substance is defined as mass per unit volume. So, the density of what you are saying? The density of a substance is mass per unit volume. So, the density is equal to mass per unit volume. Okay. So, that is why this means that the density of the cork is less than that of the density of the water. So, that is why the cork is, the upthrust of the water on the cork is greater than the weight of the cork. So that is why it is floats. So the density of the iron nail is more than the density of the water. So this means that the upthrust of water on the iron nail is less than the weight of the nail. So that is why it sinks. Therefore, the object's density is less than that of a liquid. So float on the liquid. So object's density is greater than that of the liquid, sinks in the liquid. So it depends on these sinking and floating experiences we are observing. Now next we will say, dear students, Archimedes principle. What do you mean by Archimedes principle in sport? So you know that take a piece of stone, here the activity is given, take a piece of stone and tie it to a one-end rubber string and spring balance. So what you have to do, take a piece of stone you have to take. Okay, take a piece of stone. So you have to see the record here. Take a piece of stone. This one, for example, you take, okay, this is 7 centimeter. And next what you have to do, this one, suspend the stone by holding the balance and measure it. Now the elongation means length of the string, the reading in the spring balance of it. Now slowly put in the water, stone in the water. So what you have to do, here in the water you have to place it. And this length you are seeing somewhat decreasing. We are certainly you are seeing at approximately 5 centimeters, less than that all. So why it is like that? So you'll find that elongation of the string on the reading or the reading of the balance decreases as the stone is gradually lowered into the water. However, No further change is observed once the stones get fully immersed in the water. So what do you infer from this decrease in the extension of the string? So for this we know that elongation is produced in the string or the spring balance is due to the weight of the string. So lengthening is due to the weight of the string. Since the extension decreases once the stone is lowered in the water, it means that some force acts on the stone in the upward direction. Here, some force is acting on the upward direction. As a result, the net force on the string decreases and hence the elongation is decreases. Hence the length will be decreased. Okay, so this is what we are saying. Buoyancy we are saying. Now, what is the magnitude of the buoyant force experienced by body is the same in all fluids of a given body. Do all the bodies given in the fluid experience the same buoyant force? So the answer is to this question is contained here, Archimedes principle. What is you mean by Archimedes principle? What? When a body is fully or partially in a fluid, when a body is immersed means putting fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force. That is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. So that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. So it means what? For example, okay, stone we are immersed here, so water comes here, okay, and what the water is, volume of water, that is equal to the volume of the stone. So how much is added, that much water is coming out. Okay, so that when a body is immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. Okay, so this is the way Archimedes principle. Due to this Archimedes principle, many applications in day-to-day life, what will be that it is used to designing the ships, for the designing of ships also, and submarines under the water, and rectometers are used to determine the purity of the sample of the milk, and hydrometers are used for determining the density of the liquid. So these are all based on the Archimedes principle. So what will be there in the Archimedes principle? Whatever the object you have placed, so whatever the water displays, any body, so that is equal to that. Okay. Now, next one is relative density. What do you mean by relative density? The density of a substance is defined as mass of a unit volume. See, the density of a substance is defined as mass per unit volume. So density is equal to is mass per unit volume. Okay. So the unit of density is kilogram meter per meter cube. See, kilogram per meter cube. Okay. So the density of a given substance under specific conditions remains the same. The density remains the same. Therefore, the density of a substance is one of its characteristic properties. It is different for different substances. It is different for different substances. For example, the density of the gold is, now what we are seeing, 19,300 kilogram. See, the density of the gold is 19,300 kilogram meter per cube. And the density of water is 1,000 kilogram per meter cube. Okay. So the density of a given sample of a substance can help us to determining its purity. So with the help of the density, you can find the substance's their purity. It is often convenient to express the density of a substance in comparison with that of the water. So here what you are saying, the density of a substance is with the comparison. So that you are saying the relative density. The relative density of a substance is the ratio of its, see, the relative density of a substance is density of a substance upon density of a water. So the relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. Density of a substance to that of water. In this way, you can find the relative density. But the relative density is the ratio of similar quantities. That is why it has no unit. Since the relative density is ratio of the similar quantities, so that is why it has no unit. Sometimes asking, what is the unit of relative density? So your answer will be, it has no unit. And what do you mean by relative density? The relative density is the density of a substance upon density of a water. Or you can say the relative density of a substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. Okay, these are the points of relative density. So today what we have discussed here, students, we have discussed what do you mean by buoyancy and what is Archimedes principle and what is relative density. Okay, students, so you have completed this lesson. Okay, go through it, important definitions and important explanations. Okay, thank you. We'll meet in the next video. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us